Creating a business in Singapore is quite a bit different if you're more accustomed to opening business operations in Europe or North America, but it has more similarities than many of the other destinations you might look at in Asia. For one, in order to incorporate in Singapore, you will need a director who is a citizen of Singapore. As in any jurisdiction, your company constitution and memorandum, kind of like your articles of incorporation if you're from the US, need to be established, and there are many important areas that require founder consideration that will have far-reaching tax and legal consequences. One important area to consider in Singapore is that there is typically a ministry that covers whatever industry that you are operating in, more so than in most Western countries. So you will need to do research on this. For example, there are certain licenses that you would need if you wanted to operate as a recruiter in Singapore, and licensing would need to come from the Ministry of Manpower, or MOM. Another interesting aspect of Singapore is its focus on tech and startup investment through the IDA, an organization that invests public funds into high-growth small initiatives. There are many government programs that help accelerate startup growth in Singapore, so being familiar with those is a must. And there are a lot of grants for citizens. So if you're a co-founder or if you get partnered up with someone who is a citizen, there are a lot of benefits. Opening bank accounts in Singapore is a bit different than most countries, as you don't need to be a long-term resident with a resident visa or citizenship to open an account, which is pretty great, and it lowers barriers. HSBC is also useful when you're doing business from overseas. So liability-wise, piercing the corporate veil in Singapore is a bit harder than other Asian countries. Further, if you are incorporating a limited company, or rather a company with shareholders, corporation, your shares are actually registered with the government. If you've never been to Singapore, the last tip we would like to leave you with is about la, which is pretty intuitive once you get there. For example, you will commonly be greeted with hey la or hello la. We hope you find these tips useful. If you're interested in incorporating, opening a corporate bank account, or participating in other business processes in Singapore, and are looking for a trusted party that can automate and help you navigate while you're setting up in Singapore in an expedient fashion, check out Express IB. Express IB offers smart, fast solutions to get your business off the ground completely online. Stay tuned for the next jurisdiction.